The oldest radio show in the U.S. is right here in Nashville, and it's where country music stars shine the brightest.
I'm smiling because I love it. We're talking about the Grand Ole Opry, and when the curtain goes up on the show, you can always find Eddie Stubbs right behind the microphone. He's an announcer who is living his dream. Fox 17's John Dunn has a day in the life of Opry announcer Eddie Stubbs.
Good evening. How y'all doing?
Eddie Stubbs might consider the Grand Ole Opry his second home. Walking backstage,
Mr. Bartram,
good to see you,
how
sir.
you doing?
Good.
He seems to speak to everyone, but it's behind the announcer's microphone
It's always good to pre-read your copy.
where Stubbs really makes his voice heard.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Could I have your attention, please?
On Friday night, it's Eddie's job to greet the Opry audience.
Anybody with us tonight from north of the border, from up in Canada, raise your hand.
The Grand Ole Opry is first and foremost a radio show, and Eddie Stubbs is one of its DJs.
Live from the Grand Ole Opry House in Nashville, Tennessee, WSM proudly presents the Friday Night Opry.
But instead of records and CDs, this show is all live.
Would you please make welcome Grand Ole Opry star Jim Ed Brown.
Backstage, Eddie meets a who's who of country music, people like Connie Smith,
I love you.
Well, I love you.
And my husband loves you.
Well, I love your husband, too.
Down the hall, there's Marty Rowe from Diamond Rio.
It's one big happy family.
That's right.
And it's your 10-year anniversary here.
It is our team.
Congratulations.
Isn't that amazing?
Doesn't it seem like just yesterday?
And then there are the Opry legends.
How are you doing, Mr. Dickens?
Between performances, Eddie takes to the stage. It's no surprise, he's also a fan.
Tremendous job, as always.
And as little Jimmy Dickens explains from center stage, the feeling is mutual.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the voice to what we refer to as the walking encyclopedia of country music.
Eddie Stubbs will be the first to admit this is his dream job.
Always have a dream and always follow your dreams. And dreams do come true.
He speaks from experience when he meets an aspiring young singer backstage.
Look forward to seeing you out on that stage one day.
Eddie's time on stage is near an end tonight, but his day isn't over.
We welcome you into WSM by request.
Across the street at the Opryland Hotel, he hosts his weeknight radio show.
For the next 2 hours, you're going to be making up the playlist for us here on the show.
Eddie says most of his favorite country songs come from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. On his show, he still plays records.
Kathleen has got us on tonight down in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Stubbs says he always enjoys when a young person calls to request a song. Perhaps they remind him of himself.
It always intrigued me to read liner notes, and I wanted to know who played on those records to help make the complete package good. I'd like to know who produced it. I'd like to know who the steel guitar player was.
And whether on the Opry stage or in the studio, Stubbs surrounds himself with the music he loves.
I'm Eddie Stubbs. Good night. God bless you.
John Dunn, Fox 17 News.
He's something else. Eddie Stubbs can be heard weeknights on WSM AM 650, and of course you can catch him on the Opry each Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday night.